Do you know what Toronto's latest crisis is?
The renewal crisis. The rental crisis. The supply crisis. Mortgage referral cliff. Trigger rates. The living in a tent crisis. The opioid crisis. The syphilis crisis.
Well, TK, you're wrong on all counts.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
We have a shortage in Toronto or the GTA right now, apparently, of toilets. I don't know if you've seen the news, TK, but there are people pooping all over the streets of, well, I don't know if it's Toronto. It's GTA for sure, right?
Yeah. They're running all over the place to get to Browntown. You know what? There's a toilet shortage. I never heard of that, Darryl, but I guess I'm not looking for a toilet, so I don't really care.
No,
there's certain things that I do care about. And, you know, you can empathize with people. If they're like, we got an insulin shortage and, you know, there's children who need insulin for their diabetes. I'd be like, man, get those kids some insulin already. You know, what are we doing? But when they say there's a toilet crisis,
well,
who cares?
TK, what I'm referring to, which you apparently have no idea, is there is apparently immigrants that are pooing in the streets. Like they're just pooing at the gas station.
At Wasaga Beach.
Pooing in the beach, and they're pooing on the subdivision, people's front lawns, and
so we're not actually short of toilets in Home Depot.
No, there's not actually a toilet shortage. But you know what? I do care.
I do care about people going in the streets. Then I changed my statement. That's the best part about this show. It's you guys watch me eat my words, and
you're ill-informed, but you're busy.
Hey,
I mean,
that's what I got to do. You know,
listen,
there's only so many hours in a day.
There's only so many hours in a day. Well, so getting to real stuff.
I did see a Wasaga Beach though, where it was like poop and scoop. There was a sign in Wasaga Beach because people need a sign because they are pooping and not scooping.
And not scooping. No, they're pooping and leaving it there and saying, hey, this is how we do things.
You know, I don't really like the way you worded that, Darryl. I'd like
Which part?
Maybe we should edit that out, but the fact that you said that it's the immigrants who are doing this.
Well, that's just a fact.
Is there data on this? But is there data on this?
There's video evidence of somebody pooing
somebody who looks like an immigrant. That's racism.
That is racism.
They look like it. Like, do I look like an immigrant? Because I could be. I had a guy fix my dryer today who's from a country, and he looked just like me, but he definitely ate from around here. Guys, thanks for watching today. If you haven't yet, drop us a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell and be like Dawn. You know, get another YouTube account and double subscribe.
Double subscribe, you know, like Dawn.
You're telling everybody else to subscribe. Well, have you double subscribed?
D is for double subscribe, like Dawn.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm double subscribed. Do it yourself. Didn't get to fix the show though.
Ooh-wee.
Well, okay, fine. So, I mean, I don't mean to be racist, but I can see your point there, and I'd like to retract my statement.
Okay,
at least from the perspective
of the internet, I forgive you, Darryl.
Well, I appreciate that, but it just so happens to correspond and correlate with the Indians that are all over the place in the GTA.
Terrible. You're backpedaling now. You're going backwards.
I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm just trying to say what is the story. I'm not saying I haven't seen it. Okay. I'm just regurgitating.
So allegedly right now in the GTA and other communities in Ontario, there are people who appear to be from Indian descent who may or may not have been recently immigrated to Canada, recently moved to Canada, and have decided to use an old-fashioned technique of squat and walk.
Squat and run
when they need to relieve themselves in public. All right. Well, you know what? Is this a Canadian real estate show issue, or is it a issue of environmental sciences?
I think we are way out of our league here, and I just, thought that we should touch on it. But TK,
yeah,
the reason we touch on things like this is because I feel like I'm not entirely sure who is in our audience. I mean, I don't know who's out there. I feel like we have
I don't think any of the
very
poop and
diverse
walkers, the scoop and walkers, the squat and talkers, I don't think any of those guys are listening to our show.
No, but I don't know who is, and I don't know who appreciates what. I know some people hate everything, and some people love everything, and some people hate me, and some people hate you.
More
but
people
I don't know who's out
you
there
on the show alone. Like it's very seldomly that anybody ever. Actually, I'll tell you when it happens. It's never in the comments.
What happens?
It's never in the comments where people say, "TK, you should have your own show. Get rid of that Darryl guy." But in real life, people say that to me, but I think they're just being nice because they always come up to me and say, "Oh man, that Darryl guy, he's so funny. Oh man, he just tells it how it is."
The funny one.
But you know, he's really got, you know, a lot of, you know, really TK, you're the guy.
You're the professional.
You your own show. And I'm just like, you know what? After like what you first said about Darryl, I don't believe you anymore. And basically, you know, we got a good thing going on here. So you know, start your own podcast. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, start your own podcast.
Start your own podcast.
Good.
We don't care what you think.
Luck.
Good luck.
This is not easy. So TK,
labor of love over here.
We got a lot of stuff going on, not a lot of stuff going on. I don't even know. I'm in a whirlwind this week, and once again, I'm off to baseball out of town, so it's like just a disaster.
We're just at a weird time today.
But like, I don't know. While we're on the topic of immigration and immigrants, like there's a whole lot of people lining up for jobs at the job fair at the CNE. I don't know if you saw that. There's like 37,000 of them.
What job fair doesn't have a lot of people lining up for jobs? That's where people go for jobs. This ain't news.
But I mean, I think what is news is how low
we were at the grocery store today, and there was people in line up to buy food. We've got a food crisis. Oh my gosh, people are hungry out there.
Well,
you're at the grocery store.
That's true. I mean, it would be foolish to go to a grocery store,
right? If it was like, you know, Jim's Bakery down on Bloor Street, and he's got a lineup of 30 people out the door for the position to sweep up the floors at 5 o'clock in the morning, then I would say we've got an issue. We got something to talk about.
Right.
But at the job fair, 37,000 people. Like, yeah, go get a job.
I think that's a shit ton of people. But what? Oh, okay.
So what was it last year? How many were at the job fair last year?
Well, when I did my research before the show, TK. Okay,
right?
fine.
Like 50,000 last year.
You're just slamming me all over
I'm
the place.
I'm just telling you, Darryl. Like, you know, these articles are.
Well, this is what's out there, right? People eat this shit up, right?
People love it.
But hold on
they love to find negativity. Yeah.
But, okay, so the rents are down, which I can't figure out. And we keep talking about it, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I get how in Toronto downtown new condo market, how rents could be down, but I can't see how rents are down across the board.
Rents are doing fine. And actually by the end of July, we had more condo listings that were for lease get leased than we had new listings.
Well, so
the inventory is drying up in the condo lease listing segment. Now, let's just do a little disclaimer here, because Fox News got you know, sued there, where they had to say that, you know, they're entertainment, they're not real news, right? They had to pay like a bunch of money.
Okay.
And so, guys, we are entertainment, all right? Just so you know. Basically,
Fox News.
We're like Fox News over here. You know, anything that
we're like the WWE.
Yeah, we're, you know, if you want to watch some real, you know, content, there's a lot other people who take it a lot seriously, more serious than us. But you know, we like to have fun, and sometimes we give wrong information. So back to the stats.
Did we give some wrong information?
Back to the stats I was just giving.
Okay.
Is there was leases that equaled more than what the new listings in the condo lease sector were in the GTA. So that's what I did not do the research on my own. No, the inventory basically shrunk. Okay, which just means every other segment of the market inventory is growing. Freehold, condos, everything else. It's just where each month we're adding in this many listings and we're only selling this many. But it was the reverse in condo lease listings.
But they're saying that the rents are down. The rents are down.
This is the word on what though? Is that Canada? Is it Ontario? Is it Toronto? Is it like, yeah, but he lives in like Alaska or something like that. You know,
where did the demand go with all these goddamn people all over?
There's a ton of people right now in the GTA looking for leases, and the rents are not going down. There's upward pressure on rent right now in Toronto.
Our friend,
which is the center of Canada, other than like these other cool places that are out there.
Our friend, the property manager, she put out a tweet or a message me on Twitter saying that rents have come down, like on her last couple of renewals. And you
Rents have
see
come.
people saying all over X, Twitter, all over the place saying rents are coming down. The headlines, rents coming down. And I'm sitting here going, there are so many bloody people all over the place. How in the fucking world is it possible that rents are coming down? Other than on like 375-foot little tiny stupid condos. But like the rest of the country should be healthy, bursting at the seams. No big waiting list for rental properties. That's what I would imagine. But like the news doesn't say that. And now you're telling me rents are fine. You said that
I'm
last
telling you
week
right
too.
now that I'm watching condo leases get rented out, no problem, and that there's a ton of demand. And in places where you've got like a freehold or something like that, like don't even bother. You're gonna have like 30 people apply. So there's lots of demand. Think about it. People still need a place to live. Like we had
What I'm saying.
we had an unproportionate amount of people come move into Toronto versus how many homes we've been building every single year for the last like 10 years. Okay. That at least I've been paying attention.
Yeah, but look at all this.
So they need to live somewhere. And so right now it's not a good time to buy. Condo market's down. People don't like to buy when things are not good, when things are not certain. People like to buy when they don't want to be the fool. They want to do what everybody else is doing. Okay, now's a good time to buy. I'm going to buy. Now is not a good time. I'm not going to buy. So people aren't buying right now.
No.
Right. And so that's why they're saying, okay, instead I'm going to rent. And that's putting pressure on rental units, which is good because we just need to shuffle everybody around. And that's what I've been trying to say. We got to get the old people out of the big houses and get them into the condos. And we got to move the young people into those small little ones. And then we got, the single people. Then we got to move the couples who need to go from the 2 bedrooms into the 3 bedrooms and the 3 bedrooms into the 4 bedrooms.
Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Bernstein, you have to move out now. You're 74 and we need this house for people that need this house.
But that's what it is.
Fuck out of here.
That's what it is. We don't have a housing crisis. We don't have too much housing or not enough housing or anything like that. It's just the people who are we're not efficient with the use of our housing. We're very inefficient.
Not efficient with the current inventory. That is definitely true. But I mean, in order for something like that to work, we need to be run by the AIs who figure out the most efficient, economical way of living in what we already have. I mean, I have an extra bedroom, right? So they're just going to place somebody over here.
No, but is that not going to be part of people's decision making eventually? Like, will there not be more and more technology involved in how people decide what do we order? What should you order? Oh, today your fridge. We've already got fridges that tell us what we're missing, right? You're already going to have automated booking appointments for things like, getting your car fixed or, if your furnace is starting to break down, like all this type of stuff AI is going to slowly get into. So why not housing?
Because people don't want to be told what to do with their shit.
It's just recommendations. That's all it is, right?
So
people need to get recommended.
That people need to get Mr. and Mrs. Bernstein either die or leave Mr. and Mrs. Bernstein. Just a recommendation.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying that these type of things over time are going to happen. Now what people are talking about right now is the fact that we don't have any new condo launches. What's going to be the latest right now? If we don't sell another project of condos, what is the latest project going to be finished at? That's already sold. So let's say it just sold this year, 2024, 5 years out, 2029.
Some of them that just started will be 5-6 years, depending on the project.
Right. So 2030, which is like 6 years away, we're all going to be sitting around talking about the same stuff we always talk about, complaining about the same things we always complain about. And there's going to be a lot less new housing stock coming on the market. What's going to happen then?
So there was an article from, I don't know who put it out there, but the CEO from Minto, which is a pretty damn big and really good construction and real estate company. And I guess they're property managers. They're everything that has
rental
to do with
portfolio.
Gigantic company. They're saying that this cooling of the condo market is really bad for affordability. Right. And
absolutely.
You might think that, prices are coming down and there's going to be a crash and everything's good. But like where you're talking about in this valley of no new stuff coming online. Right. And I mean, I don't know. I heard today that we're going to have 42 million people in this country by the end of the year. And I remember when we started the show, we were talking like 35, 36, 34 million was the population. That is such a gigantic boom over 4 years. Okay. Maybe my numbers are off, but we've got,
guys, again, we're like
right?
Fox News
Like,
here, right? Sometimes our numbers are right, sometimes they're wrong, but you get the drift.
Yeah.
Right?
Those are the numbers. But listen, whatever they are, it's so many more people that it's fucking ridiculous. And you go around and you walk around and you see that obviously the city is bursting at the seams. I mean, have you been on a bus? Have you been on a subway? Have you been downtown?
Like, barely out of my car.
It's just crazy. Have you been to like a beach? Have you seen videos of the beach?
I plan on going to the beach Canada's weekend. While this is airing, I will be at the beach.
Yeah, and you're gonna see. I don't know what beach you're going to, but they're busy as fuck.
I'm gonna bring poop and scoop bags and hand them out.
Yeah, that would be.
And I'm gonna hand them out to everybody.
You should take those.
I'm not gonna discriminate and be like, "Hey, you look like you need this." I'm gonna just hand it out to everybody, equal opportunities.
You should use those T-shirts, the Canadian real estate shirts,
and
hand them out as toilet paper.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna hand out, guys. I'm handing out Canadian real estate show T-shirts this weekend
at the beach.
See me. Yeah, Wasaga Beach.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's what
everybody's getting one.
That's everybody's a great idea. But okay, seriously though, I mean, imagine, okay, we went from how many launches per month and how many condos getting built to like literally nothing. The only things that are, and even if they launch, has there been a successful launch? Has anybody not launched and just kind of faded back into the
when you say that though, we were talking about last show, we were saying about
you
the one
said something
Roxborough.
But you wouldn't
one
even say one Roxborough. Yeah, but again, it's still not proven. It was an article. But it's a certain
type of product that was able to have some success. If you launch the same garbage they've been launching over the last few years, then no, you're not going to have. And we should get Jordan back on the show to hear an update on that. But I mean, come on, Jordan, who's stupid enough right now to buy a pre-construction condo in a new development? I had a call today. Oh, I got a great call today. This is a townhouse developer. He said, all right, TK, you know what? We're looking for an agent and we want to market our townhouses, which I've been talking to this guy for a while. Like I was helping him find land and then he ended up finding a site and then he got his zoning and now he's trying to sell everything pre-con. Right. Yeah. And I said, you know, we can help you on the listing side and talk to you, but he was going another direction. So now he's calling me because he's not selling. And he said, but what we want is this. He says, we want an agent who's so confident that he's going to be able to sell the project, that he is actually willing to buy one of the units off us, and then we'll give him the listing. And I said to him, I said, listen, first of all, okay, I'm not going to do that. I dealt with a guy who dealt with Stateview Homes. He bought several units. He sold a ton of stuff for them, $1 million or more in commissions because he was, you know, their guy and there's hundreds of units. Then he bought with his own money, put down deposits. Lost everything when they
didn't get paid the other half of the
his
commission.
Own money and his commissions. Yeah. No commissions were paid. And because it was all like reservations, like 6 years out freehold stuff. And I said, so I'm not your guy. But I said, honestly, no matter what I can tell you about how great I am on the services that I'm able to provide, I said, if you can find a guy who's going to do that for you, go with him.
Yeah.
I said, if you've got a guy who's going to sign that deal, who's going to buy one of your overpriced units and then list them and then not sell them because you're not selling them for a reason, and then he's going to have to buy one of the units, I said, that's a great deal for you guys. I said, take that and run. So if that doesn't work out, call me.
Yeah,
we'll talk.
If he can get somebody to take that deal, then he should just be out there selling the units himself because he's damn good. Right.
This is the way.
This is crazy.
This is the way. And I'm getting a lot of calls. Like there's a huge change in the landscape of pre-construction. The people that are reaching out to me, I'm getting developers directly call me to say, hey, do you have any buyers? I'm getting their sales centers calling me. I'm getting lots of emails. Like I'm getting a lot of interest where before they would ignore me and everybody else like me. And now it's like, hey, what's going on? Are you interested? Da, 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 da. And it's just like, you guys are hurting.
No, but didn't I tell you when I went to that meeting, I told you that was the answers to check in to untapped markets, guys that have big networks that aren't part of the pre-construction game. Right. And you guys are a prime target because you guys have a huge customer base, tons of ads, tons of new
But
traffic.
if we were into pre-con or pre-con or new
You'd be in a
construction, I should
mess
say.
right now.
What I'm saying is if we were, then we would be. We're just not. Like it's just like it doesn't make any sense. It's always been one of those situations where you don't know if the developer is going to go belly up before the project happens. You don't know if they're going to make any money. You don't know if it's going to be finished properly. It's too many variables, right?
Yeah.
So you're
And
better off
sometimes
dealing with facts, which is look at the house. You like it? You want to buy it? Buy the house. You don't like it? Don't buy the house. Instead of, hey man, listen, this piece of paper you're buying, I'm telling you, wait till you see when it's done. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be worth so much more money than when you bought it. Oh my God, this is fantastic. What's the view? I don't know. We don't really know what's going on over there. But
well, so,
you know what? That guy over there wants to buy it. So if you don't make a decision in the next 15 minutes, he's gonna buy it. Right, Jim? No? Okay. Are you a real estate agent and you're looking to make a change anywhere in Ontario? Guess what? We're hiring. Franklin Associates, #1 team in the GTA for all REMAX teams, #1 team for all teams from all companies for number of units sold throughout Toronto. So if you're looking to make a change, best decision I ever made was to join Franklin Associates. Go to jointeamleo.com and we can set up a call.
I had a conversation with one of our friends of the show earlier today, and we were talking about the choice that realtors have to make now of whether or not to take on a listing, right? Like how realistic are the sellers? And, do I have to put money into staging this thing? Is there any chance that I'm going to sell this thing? And then we started talking about, like you're saying, like not pre-construction, but new custom homes that are being built on spec that are for sale, and those guys are so out to lunch on their prices because, if they don't get what they need, they're fucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got all these people out there who, they can, I got this listing and I want to sell this property, but the realtor's like, maybe in an up market, I would do it. Maybe I would do it in an up market just to get my competition not to have it. But like right now, what's the point in wasting the time and just taking a listing? Right. And so I don't know what the answer is. For me, what I thought was, if this is a business though, you would do more in a down market for your clients. Like you wouldn't take away services, right? That's at least what I would think.
But you're wrong though, because agents are going to stop doing certain things because they're not confident they're going to get it sold. But the skill, this is where we've been talking about it. The market was so good, it was so easy. People didn't need to think about how to evaluate a property or how to be able to make the client's expectations get in line with the market. They didn't have to do any of those things. They just put up a sign and the place was sold. They just showed 3 properties and one of the clients bought it. There's a certain skill, and I know everybody undervalues the skills of realtors and that they're just door openers and all that kind of stuff. Well, why is there 75,000 and most of them sell 0, right? Why do 45% of realtors sell 0 homes and 87% sell 4 houses or less? Yeah. 4 houses or less. Like that's not a business. That's not a job. That's not a career. That's not feeding your family.
Some places 4 houses is okay.
Very few neighborhoods, right? Yeah. That's going to be, you're going to spend all that money on something. You bought a Mercedes. There you go. There's your 4 deals gone. So, right. So I'm trying to say, if it really doesn't, if there is no skill, then why doesn't everybody sell the same amount of homes? Clearly there's something involved with, the process of sales. So bottom line is now in these markets, you need to be having hard conversations with people. It's not easy.
But you have to pass up on listings, don't you? Like, don't you have to say, look, there's only so much time in a day.
Things to people properly. So, I mean, let's, I'll give you the inside track here. Okay. If you have a client who wants to sell their property, how motivated are they? If they really aren't that motivated, then and they want way too much money, then you could be wasting your time and you're going to go in a circle and it's never going to happen. But if they are really motivated, then maybe they need to go on the market at a higher price. And, eventually you're going to lower the price and get it sold for them because no matter what they need to sell, that's going to be a thought process that an agent goes through. Or maybe they need to get done by a certain time. They need to get a certain amount of money. And you got to really make sure that you show them, you properly go through every comp and really you can't be priced at 1.5. You're not going to sell. You're going to help sell all your neighbors. You need to be priced at 1.4 And if you don't price it at 1.4, it means we're eventually going to be needing to go down, and that it could be 1.3 by the time you're ready, right? Because of the market conditions. And you go through all those things and you walk them through that. And you say, look, I'd love to get you 1.5, but here it is. The best chance you have of getting 1.5 is listing at 1.4, and we get people competing. You have to have those type of conversations. And if you just go, okay, yeah, let's list at 1.5. We'll try. All right, yeah, so you're going to list with me? Okay, all right, good. Yeah, let's try. You're hurting the seller. You're costing them money. So many agents are costing their clients money. They don't care. They don't know. It's either they're doing it purposely just to get the listing looking out for their own interest, or they have no idea that that's what they're doing and they're incompetent. It's one of those two things. Both of them, probably not a good idea to hire that agent.
Both of them are probably both reasons in most cases on most deals.
On
right?
overpricing a listing. Absolutely.
Not one or the other.
Like or they had no idea that they were hurting you.
Or both.
Yeah.
They have no idea, and they're like,
they think like,
I don't give a shit. I'm taking the listing. What do you want to put it up at? Okay.
Oh, this is great.
Let's see what happens. They'll put up a sign. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like now, if you use your brain.
Hey, Mom, I got a listing.
Yeah, everyth's going to be okay, honey.
My son's got a listing. Yeah. That's how my mom used to be when I'd get business and stuff like that. She'd be so proud of me.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 21, 22-year-old kid selling real estate.
Sure.
You're proud of your daughter, aren't you?
Oh, my God. I love it.
Right? You hear a conversation or on the phone with her and she's talking and she's like, okay, David. All right. We'll chat later. You're like, this is so cool.
I love just hearing it, down the hallway. And then listen, I mean, she's so good. I tell her, this is what I'd like to accomplish. And, so far, I'd say 99% of the time she comes back with what we're looking for, which is great. But I mean, listen, it's we're
going to look at a deal today on the show. Me and you.
Yeah. You want to do that now? Is it time to do that?
What do you think?
Maybe it's time. I don't know how long it's going to take. I didn't really take a look at the deal.
I didn't look at it too much either, but basically what happens is, Darryl and I, we're just so well known in the communities. We just got so many things going on. We have so many different things that are on our plates, and deals come across our desk every once in a while. And today one came across the desk, and so I said to Darryl, "Hey, why don't we talk about it?" We didn't really have a lot of time to talk about it, so we said, "Hey, let's talk about it on the show." Right, Darryl?
Absolutely.
So this is at Young, I don't know if
this is like
I don't know how much we're going to talk about it or not. This is probably not that exciting for some of you, but bottom line is this: you got two houses that are.
Is it two houses? No, it's one house.
Potential for two houses because the lot size. Sorry, you're right.
Oh, is a 50 by 168. 2 houses.
So you got somebody who wants to build two houses, but instead on this lot, which is just over 8,000 square feet, you got the potential to build a condo building. Right now in Toronto,
says the listing agent or the agent
says the person who wants to sell
slogging the
building. Yeah,
right.
who couldn't care about if anyone actually makes any money on the deal.
No.
Good. So I mean, they talked to a law firm that was pretty reputable.
I use the same law firm.
You talked to an architect who's pretty reputable. I
use the same architect.
Okay. They both seem to feel like there is some hope there for what appears to be a 4-story building in the rendering. Did you look at the rendering?
It's not really a rendering. I did look at the picture that was cut in the middle and Photoshop back together. To give an idea, I guess, to people of what would be there. But how I knew? Can I tell you something? I don't even know if they did really talk to the architect there. Totally. Yeah. They may have had a conversation with him, but that picture, I know for a fact, he will not let anybody put out anything with that kind of roof on it because we had
it is.
He gave me a stern talking to. Yeah. It's
two things in the middle.
And it's an angle. Oh.
Yeah. It's off a little bit. So, all right. It's adjacent to an 8-story building, but obviously that's going to be a much bigger lot. That's going to be able to hold on to something like that. I don't know. Seems like the type of
there we go.
Yeah. It seems like the type of property where, somebody should just build two houses on.
At first glance, it is. And I mean, if you want to do a deeper dive, we can kind of get into the nitty gritty and
let me hear, because you're the guy. So you're the guy. I'm not the guy. When I look at this building the way it is, I'm like, you're not making any money if you build that thing on that lot.
I just think that, I mean, maybe a 4-story building there is something that you could get away with for sure. I think it's beside another building. It's really close to, I guess, a streetcar stop. I don't know, but it's in a neighborhood, and it's a 50-foot lot. So
Mhm.
you're not going to get a very great layout in that building. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many units. I mean, we can do a deep dive. I just think the neighbors will definitely go crazy there, but 4 stories you could get away with. I just don't know how many units. It's going to be definitely not worth the money that you said before.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, and I think
think.
that that's, you know what the big issue is that people have is they see projects on other streets. Like when you look at Thelma, it's kind of just off the beaten path, you know? And it's like, hey, they're
Yeah.
doing that kind of project there. Oh my gosh,
Well,
that's
this is
amazing.
similar to that. This is
Yeah. But
similar
but
in
but Thelma
vein
has
to
got
that.
a lot of other buildings around it. It's got dilapidated houses on it that everyone wants to have removed. It has, a certain um character in that neighborhood, and intrigue for something like that to be built nearby, right?
Yeah.
This is just a 50-foot lot just off of Avenue Road.
Yeah.
You're not talking about, anything that's special. There's probably a bunch of other 50-foot lots nearby with the same thing.
I have to double check, but I don't think it was that close to a subway either, if I remember correctly. And the fact that it's not that close to subway leads me
No,
to
yeah.
think that like you're not going to get
Young and Bloor, Summerhill. Yeah, it's pretty close to Summerhill.
is it close to, hang on
Let's
a
go
sec.
walking distance
It
to
is.
Summerhill
It's a
Station.
little outside of where it needs to be to the closest subway station. So it's
Yeah,
like there's things working against it that, it's similar in vein to Thelma, but it's nowhere close to the same. Plus,
nowhere
Thelma's
near.
like 150 feet wide. This is 50. So you're
Yeah,
gonna get like this stupid little skinny building on it, or you'll
we
get
got
and the
enough of those already.
sides won't have windows. I think it's definitely not worth the money, and it'll be really, even if you decided to buy it, I think it'd be really hard to finance this thing. Like it'd be really hard to find people to buy into the vision of this little tiny boutique thing there.
Yeah,
But what the hell do I know? I just think it's
I know.
definitely like for the money. I mean, we're about to go firm on another site that's like even less than that and more than double the square footage and
Yeah,
in a much more
and
unique
on a street
location,
that will
right?
command that type of, yeah,
Like, right? So
yeah.
I mean, maybe that's good for somebody, but they're gonna get hurt. I got a feeling. I
Well,
don't
here's
want
the
it to be
difference.
me though.
Here's the difference though. Right now, is one, there's not a lot of people buying land. Bottom line, there is not.
No,
I
I'm
have
one of
some
the
land for
only
sale right
dummies.
now, and the amount of people who are inquiring who have money is close to zero. Most of the people who are inquiring who call me, they're literally saying, "Well, I don't really have any money to buy it, so I wanted to talk to the seller about seller financing and da 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 da. I need to." So one guy was selling a classic car collection this week. Another guy was, I don't know where he was getting his money from, but he didn't have it yet, and it was like 20 grand. It was like the people who have money, they're not buying land right now. They're not.
Unless
They're
it's
out
a
there
great deal.
waiting.
Like,
They're exactly, but they are waiting for the right opportunities to come across their desk, and then they'll buy. But they
yeah,
see what's coming. They see what's in the atmosphere.
yeah.
There's a lot of pain. They're talking to a lot of people, and nobody wants to be the idiot to buy when nobody else is buying.
No,
That's
and
true. They
listen,
were all willing to buy when the prices were going up, which was the wrong time to buy,
but they're very
right?
busy. They're busy. They're
Yeah,
busy dealing with like not being able to sell the stuff that they have. And they're
because they
busy with
overpaid
not
for
being
it.
able to launch the stuff that they have and
Yeah,
figuring out what the hell they're going to do with that. And then they're
yeah,
figuring out like, what do we do now?
yeah,
Right? What do we do with all these people
yeah.
now? And then when do we start cutting? I guess is really what the higher ups must be thinking, because there was another article that came out that said Tridel tops off some building and the crane's coming down. And I posted on Twitter, the crane's coming down and it's not going back up anywhere else. And all those people that were working on that project at the end of the project, they're not finding jobs in construction again. Right. And it's like, that's just going to keep on
Can't say they won't
happening.
find jobs in construction again. It's just
No, for
they're
a
not going to.
while.
they're not going to be able to go to the same job at another
time.
building on another site. Yeah.
There's no other
They're going to
building.
go into,
where are they going?
Well, there's other projects underway. I mean, there's going to be a commercial project or an industrial or something like that happening somewhere else at some point.
Not enough
We
for
still
all
have
these
a lot
guys.
of still have a lot of people who are building, and that people need labor. But just that exact residential tower that they were working on, those type of deals, yeah, they're going to start drying up.
They're drying up, and they're not starting again. Like we talked about before, like the glut is started from the lack of starts. So we haven't even seen the lack of starts, really. We just see the lack of launches. Soon we'll see the lack of starts, right? And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what the inventory situation looks like. But remember that guy, Ivan, we had on the show who did the charts? He just put up a chart, and the title of it was, "Are we at the top of the inventory in Toronto?" And he shows month over month inventory in Toronto coming down. Now, mind you, well, actually, that's end of month stats from July.
Yeah,
right?
because
He's
some
up
people
to the
aren't selling.
millisecond, that dude.
People aren't selling, so they're taking it off the market. But look, at the end of the day, everything has to do with the perception that the buyers have. If the buyers think it's a good time to buy, they're going to all buy at the same time. They're going to push prices up. Nobody feels like it's a good time to buy. Nobody right now is saying, now's the opportunity for me to get it. And I can honestly say that a lot of them are right, but some of them are wrong.
Some of them are wrong.
And I'll tell you why. If you're a speculator, or if you're thinking about, getting into the market as an investment so that you can have a bunch of appreciation and everything like that, you should be in no hurry to buy.
No.
There's maybe even a chance that prices go down further and you're going to be able to buy cheaper later on. No guarantees on anything. But the people who do need to buy are the people who are like, I'm ready to get my first home. I'm ready to, upgrade. I'm ready to, buy something that's got a lot of utility for me. And they're a little bit paralyzed because they think that the market's going to go down further and all that kind of stuff. And in the grand scheme of things, that, 5, 10, 20-year home that you're about to buy and live in, whether it goes up or down a few times between now and the time that you sell it in 20 years from now, you're not going to be affected by that. And so those people will continue to buy.
Well, how many people want to commit to like even 5 years in one of these shitty condos that's floating around? So like if you are a condo buyer, right, and you're trying to get in the market, and the only thing you can afford is one of these things, and now is your opportunity, maybe, or maybe now is even not the right time. Will it be cheap? I guess it'll be cheaper in a few months, we're thinking, because there's more coming on the market. More every completion brings
what an opportunity to buy condos right now. Go and make those offers. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, but do you really want to live there for 5 years? Like, I mean, the minute you buy a book, you're going to be bursting at the seams. If you
I sold a Bachelor. It's funny. I listed a house today, and their daughter bought off me a couple years ago, right? Like maybe like after the things, maybe. I don't know if it was at the end of 2022. It wasn't peak pricing. Like, it was either down or it was like beginning of 2021 or something like that. It wasn't near the end of 21, beginning of 22. It was either on either side of it. But it was like a Bachelor, 480 square feet, St. Lawrence Market. Nice unit.
How many square feet?
400 and I don't know, something.
Whoa.
Under 500. Right? Now, it was perfect for her.
That's
huge.
And
so she bought it and lived in it. And her plan was to live there and say, I've got my own spot, pay down my mortgage. I got a good job. I can afford it, yada, yada, yada. Long story short is another job came up in the States. So she's moving to the US.
Oh, yeah.
So they said, TK, what do we do? Should we sell? Should we rent? What do we do? And so I looked up the value of the condo. It's worth the same that she paid. So it didn't go down. Because like I said, it wasn't peak pricing, but it has not moved. And I said, guys, what are you going to do? You're going to sell and you're going to lose money. You got all these fees and taxes and everything else to get in and get out. Don't sell. Rent it out. So my partner's helping them rent it out, and they're going to just keep it. And she's going to be negative cash flow and move on with life.
I was wondering, when you hear the stats of all the inventory, how much of the inventory is for sale and simultaneously for lease? How many properties are double dipping in the stats right now?
Yeah. And I wonder what's more likely, something that's like they really just want to lease but they're just throwing up a for sale listing at some crazy number just in case, or they really want to sell, but they're just throwing up a lease just for,
Well, I remember back in 2009 when I was losing everything and the world was crumbling around me and it was a fucking disaster.
Everyone else was doing okay, but Darryl's world.
My world fell apart. And I rented a house from a lady who was also having a tough time, and her house was for sale and for rent. And she was just like, whichever one happens first, I am more than happy with, because right now I'm bleeding out like crazy, right? And so I don't know if the rent was enough to cover her nut, but the rent was enough to slow down the bleeding enough for her to not try selling the house for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of people are in that same kind of boat where it's like, they're not looking to break even. They never were. They were never even looking to close, right?
Yeah.
Some of the people that were looking to close were definitely not looking to break even, because that was never on a spreadsheet anywhere, I don't think. Yeah. I don't think.
Imagine
mean, if that is floating out there, I'd love to see it, because it's an outright lie and a total scam, right? Because that never worked for at least a decade, if not more, in Toronto anyways. But like, I don't even know where I'm going with this, TK. What the hell was I ever talking about there?
I don't know. But right now I'm actually working with a lot of buyers. I did a condo deal last week, and it was significantly reduced, and then we took it down another like 40,000, something like that. Like the same unit was selling for 1.1 at the peak renovated. We bought it unrenovated for 670. So he's going to put in 150K.
Oh, a renovated unit sold for 1.1.
Yeah. So he's going to be in under 850, like no problem. And the same units were going for like 1.1. Now, a renovated unit right now is listed for 9 something, and one's listed for like 8, high 8s or something like that.
His
so
budget
that's what they're going for
according to plan, and the timeline for the construction.
No, I overestimated
perfectly.
It's just a condo.
Sure, it'll work out.
But those are the kind of deals you're going to get, right? And in the peak of the market, like not in the peak of market, in the worst times in the 90s, you had properties in some areas lose 60% of their value, right? That's how drastic it was. And so if you think about that, 1.1, it's down to 800. So like, you're close to like 30% on that condo. So there's going to be opportunities in some of the, maybe not as desirable neighborhoods, certain buildings, older buildings, higher maintenance fees, whatever the issue is that those condos have, where you can go in, sweep in a good deal. Right?
Yeah.
Buy yourself something that makes sense for you and your family. If it's just speculation and investment, I would say, hey, hold off, look for something different. I'm only looking at stuff if it cash flows. That's it. If it's an investment property that's got cash flow and it supports itself. We had our friend there from, what was that guy's name again? He's got that place in Mexico and Belize. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Remember we had him on here, and he was buying properties in 2009.
With Bitcoin? I don't know.
No, is it too many guests?
That's what I remember. No more guests.
We had a guest who was talking about how in 2009 they bought a bunch of properties in Florida and the States for way under, and the people said, "Well, what if the price falls more?" Well, it's cash flowing, so who cares? You're making money every single month.
Cash flowing.
That's the only thing that I'm looking at right now. If I'm going to buy anything, it's got to be cash flowing. So that way, it's if it goes down another 25%, whatever, it's paying its bills, and then it's going to be able to get me through.
What if rates go back up again? What if inflation comes roaring back and rates go up again?
Well, no, you're going to lock in at a 5-year fix for an investment property. When you buy an investment property, you shouldn't be buying variable rates.
Right. No, definitely should not be buying.
I know a lot of people did that, but that's not in the books either.
Right, but in 5 years you can be in a crazy high rate environment, and then your whole fucking thing's fucked again. Even if
but you paid off 5 years worth of equity. The tenants have of principal. So now you've got that much equity in the property. Yeah. So it's all part of the plan, Darryl.
It's all part of the plan.
Right. And you're raising rents at the same time. So you got 5 years worth of rent increases. You got 5 years worth of equity, mortgage pay down. You got 5 years worth of cash flow because you only bought it because of cash flow.
And what kind of cash flow are we talking? Are we talking like $200,
$300 a month? Okay. We're not talking about a lot of money.
We're talking about minus
anywhere
150,
in Ontario
but it's
right
in a
now.
great location.
You know what? That's per unit though. That's per unit.
Per unit.
That's per unit.
$30 a month per unit.
Yeah,
How
that's
many
per
units?
Unit.
What are we even talking about right now?
I'm
Is this hypothetical?
No. These are
talking
the
about
deals
something
that you can
specific
find out there. So if you find something that's going to be a 2 or 3 or 5 story building in a small town in Ontario that's cash flowing because you're not finding it in the GTA, then you're looking at a couple $100 per door.
So that same guy I talked to today said he had like this great deal and it made money, and he gave me the back and napkin numbers, and he was like, but nobody fucking wants it right now. And I don't understand that. I also read something
come
today.
Up with these deals though, where they're like, hey, it cash flows. All you need to do is have $3 million.
80% of the equity.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just like, okay, like if I got 3 million, I'm not looking to make $1,500 a month on my 3 million.
Well, I think people are in a weird place. So you know the famous saying, when there's blood in the streets, it's time to buy, right? And
buy fear,
when
sell greed.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. Buy when people are fearful and sell when people are greedy, or whatever the hell, right? Something like that. Well,
so what are people right now? They're afraid. So it's a good time to buy.
They're afraid, right? So it's supposed to be a good time
the market,
to buy.
Daryl.
But no, listen.
Stop. I know you want to get your developments off the ground, okay? Nobody's buying your luxury condos on this show, okay? They're just here to listen for good real estate content, all right? Guys, now's the time if you want to book a call with me. There's my link down below, 15 minutes, all right? No pressure.
No pressure. Please subscribe to the channel.
And you want a t-shirt? We got t-shirts. We'll send you a t-shirt. At this point in time, we are paying shipping and handling.
Send me a check.
Reach out and we will, and with an address, and you will have a t-shirt in like 5 to 7 business days or something.
5 to 7 business days, you'll get the best t-shirt ever. And if you're on the beach and you decide
Wasaga Beach this weekend, if
you
you're looking
need
for
some
t-shirts,
toilet paper,
I'll be there.
TK will be there handing out.
It won't be toilet paper.
Are you going to really do that though? That'd be super.
I think so. Yeah, I just thought about it.
I think it's a good idea.
The box in my car.
We should go to Yonge and Dundas Square and we should just do that.
We talked about it before.
Somebody said we should give it to the tent cities and we should hand them out at the encampments. And I thought that was kind of in poor taste, but
I thought
it would definitely get people talking. That's for sure.
I know, but it's like, one, none of those guys will wear their shirts.
The real
and
estate
2,
show.
It'll just reinforce that the shirts are not that hot in demand. You know what I mean? Even though like I bought
gotta give them away.
And I got rid of like 400 of them already. But we still got 200 left.
You gave away 400 of them?
We got rid of a lot of shirts, man. People are always reaching out on the show, asking me to mail them to them and stuff like that. I'm out like $1,000 in Canada Post charges.
Wow, that's crazy.
Smokes, eh?
I believe you completely.
Yeah, good.
That's amazing. So hold on a sec. So is it a good time to buy? Because I know you're accusing me. It's not a good time to buy a house.
Pumping.
But hold on, I'm not pumping. I'm saying from an investment
standpoint. You're a realtor.
I'm the furthest thing from a realtor, TK.
Daryl's the most anti-realtor.
It makes my skin crawl.
Literally.
Right? I would be the best realtor in the city.
I think you wouldn't last a day, but
I'd kill everybody.
You're definitely anti-realtor. People,
no
I think people think that you're a realtor. You always read it in the comments and they loop you in a bag with me
realtor.
And the rest of the hooligans.
That's
but
right.
You're definitely not a realtor. That's for sure.
I am so far from being a realtor. But what I think is that there are definitely opportunities out there if you know what the hell you're doing. And just like you say, if it cash flows now, it's a good deal. Like, why the hell not? Well, let's say you know something that most people don't know. And let's say you just happen to find something that's grossly underpriced. Let's say that just happens. And let's say it just happens to be in like an area of the city where no one's ever done this ever, right? How do you not buy something like that because of, people afraid to buy houses right now? Sometimes you just got to kind of put on those blinders and do it and hope for the best. And I know that sounds absolutely insane and it's not the best strategy in the world, but some of the smartest real estate people I've ever met bought the best deals they ever bought in some of the weirdest, worst, craziest markets of all time, right? Yeah. Because they had the ability to put the deal together still, right? Yeah. So if no one's
totally
giving you
agree.
money,
totally agree. I'm not saying it's a bad time to buy,
but I'm not.
It's just a bad time to buy
TK.
at the wrong the wrong property.
Don't buy a freaking condo now.
I'm looking at a lot of deals right now. I was looking at deals today, and some of them are like
condo,
2
you're
caps.
a moron.
And I was just like, what the heck is this? Like, why am I even looking at this right now? Yeah.
That's
I'm like,
normal.
what, how?
Toronto?
I was like, I'm not gonna even dig into this any further than I need to. But the bottom line is there's going to be opportunities that come out, right? Where you're going to be able to pick something up at a price that is going to be, unheard of anywhere else, because that right opportunity came forward, the right seller, right motivation, you had the money, you were ready to go, and then you'll benefit from it, because you don't make money when you sell, you make money when you buy. You got to buy right.
Make money when you buy. And listen, there's a chance I come out of this and it doesn't look so good. And there's a chance I come out of this looking like a bloody genius.
Welcome to life. I had a conversation today with somebody who was really stressed about their purchase and that they're going to lose money and that they had to take a loss. And that I explained to them because they were bleeding $7,000 a month. So I said, $84,000 a year, you're out. And I said, right now, the sale price that you're about to take is, X amount of a loss, like whatever it is. Let's call it 100,000. I said, 1 year from now, that $100,000 loss could still be there. In fact, it could be more, because if prices continue to fall, this could be an even worse situation for you. But guess what's guaranteed? That $84,000 of negative cash flow between now and then. Right? And so I said, the risk you're taking right now is to try to not lose that 100, but what you're risking is way more than $184,000 worth of losses. Right.
So, is there an opportunity for the next guy is the real key, right? It's the people that, need to get out and want to win that end up losing. What are you doing, mister?
Who wants a shirt?
Right? Who wants a shirt? But did you hear what I said, TK?
I did.
I know you're not listening to me at all.
I listen to everything you say that
steamrolling
involves things that I want to talk about.
Right. But, well, all right. Well, TK, it's been fun. Thank you.
Is there room for the next guy? Sometimes no. There'll be a guy who buys the brown paper bag and he realizes later on that he shouldn't have. Of course, there's going to be those situations.
Right. But like the smart guy who goes, you know what? Like, this is where the market's at. I got to get out. I'm going to take my lumps. And I know this sucks. And here we go. Is that guy smart now? Because I remember back in the day when everything was crumbling around me, everybody's advice was just hang on to it, figure it out, hang on to it. Well, no, I can't lend you any money. No, I don't have any money. This market's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to everybody and nobody wants to give you money. So now what? Now you got to sell the thing. You don't even have a choice, right? So, but like, who doesn't see that coming down the pipe? That's what I asked you a week or two ago, is like, why everybody going now? Why is everybody saying we got to list now? Like, now that they're lowering rates, I'm done. Okay. Like, now I can't afford it for sure.
It's not easy. It's not easy to lose money. No one wants to lose money. That's not easy. That's a tough decision to make.
Oh, I wanted it. It was like a reset. It was like, just make it a stop. Okay. Like, once I made the decision to get killed, no, but once I made that decision, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, right? It was like, okay, I'm dead. I'm going to start again. Now what? Then that was the next problem. Now what? Right. But most people can't take a hit, right? It's really hard to take that hit. Even if it's a $40,000 hit. I mean, I don't know if that's only for most people, but $40,000 is can really derail some plans for some people, right? I mean, that could be a decent chunk of a lot of down payments, right? I mean, I don't know where, maybe in Saskatchewan.
I'd say the average situation that I'm seeing is between $100,000 and $200,000. That's like the typical person. No, like the typical person when they get, they're at the rope and they got to take a 6-figure loss between $100,000 and $200,000.
TK, I thought I was going to sell my houses for $2.1 million each. Okay. Yeah. I sold one for 1,725 and one for 1,365, bro.
You got beat up on that one.
Holy. Yeah. Do you understand I had some other bigger swing losses. That is?
I've seen the $700,000-$800,000 losses in the past couple of years too from this market. Yeah, I've seen some. I'm seeing some big, but they were foolish. Like there's the ones that I'm exposed to. Like they were just like, yeah, you really got yourself in a pickle here.
That's where the deals are. If you're looking for a new house, then that's where you can find a deal, because I guarantee you that a lot of these guys that are in mid construction right now are freaking out, especially the new guys that were actually doing this to really make money, not to just launder money.
Or the guys that we analyzed this deal for him today.
This guy,
you know, he's probably looked at the situation and said,
I don't know what
hey,
he
maybe
paid
we can
for
flip
it
to
though.
A condo. Yeah, I'll
at
check
the
it
price
out.
at the price that you gave me, that thing is at the same price per foot as Thelma, and it's no Thelma, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that movie? There ain't no Thelma here. You know what? Have you seen that movie? I forget what movie that is.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that? There ain't.
No, it sounds like it was like before my time, you know?
It was probably a little before your time.
Just like a little bit before my time.
It was with Arsenio Hall. Shit. If anybody's still watching the show and you know what movie that's
put it in the comments.
TK?
Prove Darryl right. Yeah.
Arrivederci.
Did we do all the like, comment, and subscribe? We're good. Everybody's happy.
Some stuff. We can do it again though.
Apple reviews. That's okay. We don't need to. Apple reviews, Google Podcasts.
An old one with our buddy Don.
We're just chatting. Fox News,
WWE coming to you
WWE.
live
Here we
from
go.
Muppet Studios.
Real estate version.
Coming to you live from Muppet Studios.
Hello.
Hello. Higgy.